you guys, welcome to, did you say speaking of trauma?
Yeah. I lost my chapstick.
Great way to start. We're already in trauma. We've lost a chapstick.
I lost my lip gloss, but it's okay.
I have a gloss, but it's over there.
We'll be fine. It's okay.
We'll be good. Okay, great. You guys, welcome to another episode of Glitter and Garbage into the Spellingverse. I'm Justine Marino. Daniel Webb is here.
Hi.
As always, Lammy is here being a good boy.
Sort of.
Oh, he is being, look how cute he is.
I know. Well, we're exercising. We're initiating. This is the week of the squirt bottle.
Oh.
And I forgot. I didn't want to get the studio wet, but it's like to stop the puppy barking.
Oh, yes. You squirt him.
See, there we go.
Oh, it's so tough sometimes.
I want to get to the point where all I have to do is flash the gun.
Oh, yeah.
And then he stops.
Blair had we did a little bark collar. Not the one that shocks you, but it just like makes an unpleasant noise.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where if we would bring it out, she'd be like, sorry, I won't do it.
I feel like my voice is an unpleasant noise. And if that's not enough to be like, now. Then,
that's so funny.
Yeah, you said. How are you?
I'm so good.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you too.
I didn't even talk about the labyrinth thing.
Oh, the labyrinth t-shirt. Thank you. Yes. Well, you know I have a labyrinth tattoo.
Yes.
Dance Magic Dance on my rib cage.
Amazing.
I love labyrinth, obviously. And yeah, this is an old t-shirt that I cut the sleeves and cropped. And now it's like a new t-shirt.
Our friendship did sort of bond over the labyrinth. Dark Crystal.
Yes.
And I think we have talked about it. We did actually a million years ago when I was a guest on your podcast about rewatching the Dark Crystal and how I feel like I will never put someone through that again. I can't do that to people.
See, that one I got I always loved Labyrinth and like Legend with Tom Cruise. I love too. Another fun fantasy. But I had never I didn't watch Dark Crystal until I was an adult. So I was like, maybe I just don't get it. But then you were like, no.
You need the mega suspension. It's just too. It's a very hippie movie.
It is very hippie.
It's very hairy.
Yes, so much hair, which I mean I relate to. But
yeah, it was just too much. I felt like I was covered in like.
And they have bangs, right? Don't they have bangs in it?
Oh, they do.
I feel like maybe I need to rewatch.
The male protagonist puppet, yes,
he has bangs.
Maybe the girl does too. Does Kira have bangs?
I don't know. That's so funny.
That's funny. I always related to the Skeksis because they're just old and creepy.
Of course, I love
no bangs.
Love no bangs. But you know what? You know who has bangs? Brenda, and they're looking good again.
They're so good.
They're good. They were finally out of our bad bang Brenda era. It's episode 9 we're talking about today. It's called The Gentle Art of Listening.
Oh my god!
And it is Grudge Week, baby, which I had never heard of that before.
And they sort of never explain it.
No, they don't. They're like, it's Grudge Week. What is that?
Yeah, never heard of it before ever.
Aaron, have you heard of Grudge Week? No. Okay, so that's 3 for 3 have not heard of it.
Never experienced Grudge Week. The only thing we did in high school that no one's ever heard of is we did, for homecoming, we had mums.
Oh.
Are you familiar with that?
The flower? Mums?
That's the base.
Oh,
it's a ribbon thing.
Oh.
Texans know about it, but Southerners do this. I don't know if Aaron knows about it. A mum, people spend thousands of dollars and you wear it to school for homecoming.
Wow.
So yeah, mum culture was something I didn't know, but I don't know about grudge culture.
Grudge Week, it feels like it's like a pep week, like school spirit week, basically.
Yeah, 5 days of a pep rally.
5 days of a pep rally. But first up, I got to say, Brandon's hat we need to talk about, which, Aaron, I believe I sent you a picture.
Yes.
And I think they should be in order of how I'm asking for them. But this, I was like, right away, we got to screenshot this.
It's a piece of art. It's a statement piece.
It is a statement piece. And what's crazy is he has not made any statements with his looks at all thus far.
I think this is the first hat.
It's the first hat we've seen him wear. Well, he has that great hair. Who's going to cover that?
Why would they? Something must have seriously gone wrong in HMU that day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. They're like
there must have been like a disaster.
A hair explosion,
yeah,
a hair disaster.
There was a fire on set, and the only hat available was is it a beret?
It's so 90s. It's like very like.
It's honestly cultural appropriation. I've never seen a white person wear that.
Exactly. I feel like it's like those hats that Janet Jackson.
Or I was going to say Boys to Men.
Right, exactly.
There's a thread. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I don't think it's a hat that. Here we go. Yes. Wow. Yeah, no, it looks almost like a backwards like conductor hat.
There's a bill. You can see it on the backside. So
doesn't look like a big bill though. It looks like a short bill.
So what I think is happening is it's a newsy hat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That he decided to wear backwards.
Because he's a poet. It's Dead Poet Society.
It is Dead Poet Society, but it's like, again, literally 0 hats and then the most statement hat.
So can I tell you what led me to the hat was first of all, I wish I had been alive as an adult in this time because I would have totally been an extra at West Beverly. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm 40. I could have been there, right? They're all 40.
We could be extras right now.
Right now. Where's the reboot? But what the thing is, they were really dense on the West Beverly High wardrobing. Yeah. And I'm like, where on earth are either the football jerseys or the knit, what do you call those? Cardigans?
Cardigans.
And so I was looking at all those, I was like, man, one of those has to exist online somewhere. Right. And then they sent the hat. I was like, well, where is the hat?
Yeah, the hat.
Like, that has to exist.
The hat is everything.
And never addressed.
Never addressed.
And it's neither really is the Goonie girl who spots him in the hat.
Oh.
And like can't resist.
In love with him, which do you know, have you seen her before?
Yes.
Do you know what?
So I had trouble piecing it together, and I'm going to take a guess because I didn't look it up.
Okay, yeah, because I know. So I'm curious.
Is she on Good Morning Miss Bliss and the original Saved by the Bell?
I don't know about that, but she is in True Beverly Hills. She's one of the girls.
That's her.
Yes, that's her.
With the glass?
I think so. I think she has glasses.
But oh my God, that's her.
And I think she's the one that like gives the girl who's poor money. Right?
Yeah, they have a side.
They have a thing, and she's like, "What good are friends with
her
money?"
Her dad's the director.
Yes, something like that. I think it's her. It's been a minute, but yeah, she's in the. Yep.
Do you know who I'm talking about? So the first season of like the Saved by the Bell.
I bet it was her, to be honest.
Oh, okay. See, now I wish I had looked it up. Okay, I'll look it up later.
Yeah, no, we'll confirm later. But she is like obsessed with Brandon, and he is not happy about it.
No. Well, she's acting weird.
She is acting weird. I think I pulled a picture of her. She's like a solo freshman looking girl.
It's very on the spectrum. That's how I flirt.
She's literally just flat out like
agog. What? You didn't think I could slide that word in?
She is. Look at her. She's like, look at the way she's holding her backpack. Who holds their backpack like that?
It's her emotional prop.
It is her emotional support backpack.
Okay, so wait. Looking at that photo,
I
really think it is the girl from Saved by the Bell.
It is confirmation
is that true?
From Erin.
Yes!
Okay, great.
Okay.
So we know her from everything.
Wow. Imagine being in 3 legacy works: Beverly Hills 90210, Saved by the Bell, and True Beverly Hills, and we can't fucking say her name.
Oh, good. We don't know who she is. Literally.
Also, every one of her works has Beverly or something Hollywood in the title.
That's so funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills 90210, well, it's not Saved by the Bell.
Oh, but Good Morning Miss Bliss. Just all school, very like school related.
She could never make it out. Maybe she never graduated.
Maybe
out of the Los Angeles school district.
Exactly. She's still at West Beverly.
But wordlessly, I love her.
Oh no, she has no words.
She's basically Donna.
She is Donna. She has moved to Donna's getting more roles, and Donna and Kelly and Brenda have a great fashion moment right out the gate at this.
Don't even get me started on this.
Right? It's so good. Erin, I think I sent a picture of Brenda, Donna, and Kelly at the Grudge Week celebration where they make sure we see a particular cheerleader, I will say.
Yeah, so suspicious.
So they're like, it's like they focus in on this one girl.
Well, Brandon is focused on her.
Yes, he is.
And so while he's
here's the
let's talk about
my screenshotting skills.
It's a screenshot of the screen.
This is me stoned at midnight watching.
It's a screenshot of a screen.
Okay, Donna's fit is so fire. They all look great here, to be honest.
But the winner is
Donna.
Yeah. This is the best part is I think by episode 9, she's learned the lesson. Like, if they're not going to let me say something, I'm going to let them see something.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And she fucking dresses up. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to get attention somehow.
Yes.
And what you can't really see in this photo is that the right just under the décolletage, right under the breastplate, it splits and goes like down.
Oh, I love it.
Weird top that she's wearing.
And it's like a mock turtleneck.
Well, first of all, she would have been sent home.
Yes.
And told to change.
Right?
In a real high school.
Like, could you wear this at high school?
First of all, her belt is a weapon. Look at that belt. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I
And
need that belt immediately.
Her earrings match. That's the thing. She has these like gold chain fucking earrings that dangle.
I legitimately need a gold belt like that.
I know.
I'm going home and looking that up.
I have a purse that has that strap, and I almost brought it, but with the fucking dog, I was like, one of us is gonna get strangled.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, everything about her outfit with the slight crimp.
Oh, the crimp.
Or it's a curl, I guess.
It's like a wave. It's like a nice wave.
Whole thing.
And then Kelly, I actually like Kelly's outfit, even though it is a mustard, you know? And not a lot of people can do mustard.
She looks like someone's manager.
She does.
She looks like Janet Jackson's manager in 1992.
And Brenda, just like a clean white, button down.
She later turns it out. Brenda has some excellent moments.
Oh, she does. But also, I'm going to show you. There is a shirt that Brenda and Brandon both wear.
Oh, they do that.
Yeah, they do that.
They gross me out.
I know they are. Well, especially in the next episode, it gets very crazy. Okay, but what I love here is Brenda's like, they're like, hey, let's blow it off and go shopping. Should we go to the Bev Center? And I'm just like, no, never go to the Bev Center.
It used to be hot.
It used to be hot.
Now it's a ghost town.
It's not anymore. It is a ghost town.
Yeah.
It feels creepy.
It to me is that like everyone, it's very like the Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Like you have to only see dead people.
Yes, exactly.
If it's a busy day at the Beverly Center.
But Brenda is like, come on, guys, where's your school spirit? And
it's Grudge Week.
It's Grudge Week. Come on.
Get your grudge on.
Kelly goes, I lost that in the 7th grade. And Donna does not miss a beat and goes, that's not all she lost in the 7th grade. Which I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Because 7th grade, you're like 12.
So,
right.
Well, there were rumors. Listen,
right.
in our 6th grade class, there were rumors.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you what sex was.
Yeah.
But I would spread that rumor.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names. Yeah, well, I sure did.
That's so funny. Yeah. I don't think anyone was like doing anything crazy in 7th grade, although I did have a boy-girl party, and we did play Spin the Bottle, and one kid who was very like sweet and innocent and just a little awkward did tell his parents, and the parents told the nuns, and the nuns called my mom.
What?
Yes.
You got nuns called on for hosting a party?
For hosting a party.
Where were your parents?
Where we played Spin the Bottle. So we were in like another area, and our parents let us there was no like booze or anything.
It was an empty bottle.
It was an empty bottle. It was like a Sprite 2-liter bottle.
That's all you could get your hands on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so we were theater kids, right? So the Spin the Bottle just came with the territory.
Yes, of course.
Like theater kids are just innately slutty.
Yes.
Publicly slutty.
Yes. Outwardly slutty.
Love a public display of some form of like sexual
slut.
freedom. Yeah. So we did it, and it was always with the like not the hot theater kids.
Yeah.
It was always like the tech nerds.
Oh, not the tech nerds.
It was the people who couldn't get kissed.
Got it.
Which I was in that club. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Where all these ghouls, like, yeah.
Yeah. I had like braces and glasses and was a little chubby and awkward.
You had braces in high school?
In middle school.
Oh, okay.
No, I got them off summer before high school. Thank God.
So you could come back new.
Yeah, and I got contacts. Ooh, watch out.
I used to love when they would tighten the braces.
Oh, yeah.
That felt good. Anyway, there's brace porn now.
Brace
porn. Crazy.
There is?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know. So it's like part of me wants to, like, if comedy doesn't go well, I'm just going to get braces and OnlyFans.
Yeah. That you could make a lot of money.
Plan B.
Okay, so then we check in with Dylan, Brandon, and Steve, who are trolling for freshmen.
This episode sends a lot of mixed messages.
I feel like it sends, it's like so many mixed messages.
I think what they're trying to do is lay up the suspects, right? For what later happens. I think they're trying to make it anyone's guess.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I thought, was because they're all perving out.
Yeah, they are.
And
look, I think it's made worse because they look old.
Well, they're adults.
They are adults. So it is a little weird to hear them be like, oh, we got some new freshmen.
That.
They are a little creepy about it.
Well, and it's Steve and Dylan talking to Brandon, informing him what the highs of Grudge Week are.
Yeah.
And it's through their pervy lens.
Yeah.
And they sound like old men.
They do sound like dirty old men.
There was a man I knew, and I hate to say this, it was someone I worked with. It was like he was a musician. He was cool.
Yeah.
And then and he played like a saxophone. And one day we were recording, and he came in, and I was like, hey, how was your day? He was like, oh, I took the saxophone out to just play it and walk around. I was like, oh, weird. You walk around and play? It's like, well, it was it was freshman day at the, I was in Austin at the UT. He was like, I want to check out all the new co-eds.
Oh my God.
He was a father.
Ew.
Of like young girls. That always struck me as weird. I was like, someone take your saxophone away. That's a public
I always
crime.
am suspect of guys who go for like girls who look like children.
Young, yes.
Like Ariana Grande, I love her. She's beautiful, but she looks
a
childlike.
child. Yeah, red flag.
Yeah. So if you date her and that's it, fine. But if you date her and then all your other girlfriends also have that
childlike
look, I'm looking at you differently.
I was gonna say you are always weary of like men who play an instrument in public, because that should be red flag number one. Run screaming.
That's so true.
If you see a man with a guitar, any portable instrument.
Oh my God. The amount of times we had to hear Oasis Wonderwall against our will at parties.
Which now is a banger.
It is a banger. No, it was a banger then, but it was like not from fucking Ryan, the idiot who just forced his acoustic performance on us.
I was gonna say Mark Hurley, but yeah exactly. Same story.
Yeah, exactly.
Same party, different.
You get it.
Yeah.
Same party, different state. Okay, so then we're checking in with Cindy. And we're back at home.
Cooking.
She's cooking. She's in the kitchen as always because she's a mom, so she's always in the kitchen.
But she knows her way around.
She does.
Did you see her like seasoning the chicken or whatever she's cooking?
Yes, it's so good.
I was watching that.
It's so good. But Brandon's telling her about how this freshman is obsessed with her.
He still has his hat on.
He has his hat on, and he's like, if I accidentally make eye contact with her, she pretends she's looking over the rainbow.
Yeah,
which was like, what?
The dialogue is really escalating. Like it's really getting like it's so cheesy.
It's so cheesy.
I noticed that everyone's laying it on thick.
Oh, they are.
But Brandon is like the one who takes the cake.
I mean, he's going for it. And Cindy's like, you're such a heartbreaker.
She has a crush. It's cute.
Cindy
All this.
gets it. I think Cindy's a really good mom.
No, Cindy's a great mom. Carol Potter lays it down.
Yeah, she does.
And she's also just she's really great with her props.
Yes.
Because one thing she does is she stands there and she makes every dose look like it needs to be done.
Yes.
A meaningful act.
Yeah.
And then what she does is she takes it and she just sets it over here and then walks over, like she's doing all this stuff. And there's a moment where she turns as though she's getting something out of the cabinet, but clearly she's just this. And then waiting for Brenda to walk in the door. So there is an actual awkward pause.
Oh, that's so funny.
Where she's having to like mime pantry work.
Does this happen to you? Because being someone who's like a performer, I've acted a lot. I've been acting since I was younger. We've been on sets. We know how things work. It's hard for me to suspend disbelief. Like I'm like, she's not really cooking. She's not really doing this. She's,
as a viewer?
As a viewer,
it's completely gone.
Yeah.
Totally gone.
Yeah.
And in fact, every time I see a different shot, I'm like, that's probably an hour later.
Yes, totally. Same.
Yeah,
I'm always thinking stuff like that. But Brenda comes in and she is not happy.
She's distressed.
She is so over Kelly and Donna and all their shopping. She feels like she's losing brain cells by the minute. And she wants to do something meaningful.
Yes.
And Brandon's talking her through it. And he's like, well, Andrea works at this is the Rap Line?
Rap Line.
Which is where people who are having issues call in.
Teen Call Line.
Teen Call Line.
Also a mirrored plot line on Saved by the Bell.
I love it.
Which was an excellent episode. You didn't see that one?
I think I saw most of them. It's just been so long since I've watched the original Saved by the Bell.
It's the one where Zach has a crush on one of the other girls. That's the character you've never met before, and she also works at the teen line, and they hit it off really great, and they set up a date, and she's like, "Great, I'll see you Saturday," and then she wheels away from the table, and she's in a wheelchair. What does he do?
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Date? Right.
I do remember. Yes.
And so there were always these times when the shows would mirror each other, which
totally.
I fucking loved.
Yeah,
I know. Like, I have to work on a teen line.
Yes.
I have to help someone out. I have
drama. To lose my virginity.
Yeah, to someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a teenager. But I loved, so the teen line, I loved that this was like the plot line.
It's the best.
Because it was the only way you could read. There was no internet, people.
No, you couldn't just Google, I am having issues with this. You had to call someone.
We didn't all have Carol Potter as a mom.
No, we didn't. And most of them did not in Beverly Hills.
No.
And so Brandon tells Brenda, Andrea works at this Rap Line. You should talk to her about it. So Brenda goes to talk to Andrea, and Andrea is so indignant.
So judgy.
She is so judgy, which also I'm like, you guys, at the end, it's goes back to our point that we've made about at the end of every episode, everything resets. At the end of the last episode, Andrea had kind of they'd all warmed up to Andrea.
Yes.
They did the mother-daughter dance together. Now they walk in and it's like they've never hung out in the kitchen.
As if she never had dinner at their house.
Exactly. And gone through the trauma with Kelly.
But the judgment's on both sides because it's when she's like, Brandon's giving her advice on where to go work.
Oh, yes.
She's like,
Andrea.
She's like, Zuckerman?
Andrea Zuckerman.
Never get it. Yeah.
It's I said Zuckerberg before we
Thank
started.
you.
So it was, but yeah, she goes, Andrea Zuckerman.
Yeah.
And then she walks in and Andrea's like, oh, Brenda is just a pretty popular girl. She can't handle answering phones.
Yeah, like it's full of judgment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I honestly don't know where she finds the time because she's busy running the paper. How does she have time to run the teen line?
Here's what I realized is I think Andrea... I think she does the teen line because she has no friends. So she's like, these will be my friends.
I think Andrea is undercover boss. And,
oh my God.
Like season 10 was going to be where she's like, really, I'm the principal, but I've been pretending to be a student this whole time.
Yeah, oh my God, that's so funny. She's so undercover boss.
She is, but no one's noticed, which is the most suspect thing about undercover boss.
If she revealed her identity, she would literally have to do nothing to change her appearance. She'd just like spin in a circle and be like, it's me.
She just takes her hair wig off and it's the same wig. It's the same
hair.
wig. Yeah, exactly. She looks the same.
Okay, so but Andrea's like, there's a 3-month training process.
It's Christmas break before you can fucking work at the damn teen line.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. And Brenda's like, I can do it. And they're really going tit for tat and like getting in each other's faces.
The scene was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was very like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, I have what it takes.
Yeah.
Like, I sort of wanted to write the dialogue down and have us act it out, but...
Oh my God. Next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you guys, if there are any scenes you want us to act out,
Brilliant.
email us glitterandgarbagepod@gmail.com. Email or DM me. I know some of you I'm DMing with. And also, I just want to say thank you, you guys. We've gotten so much good feedback. Thank you. We appreciate that. So glad you're loving it.
But they really are fraw-lining each other.
No, they are just tit for tat.
Yeah, it's tense.
So good.
It's very workroom, very corporate.
Oh, it's so corporate. It's so much subtext. I love it. And then, oh my God, then we cut to the hotline where Brenda's going to train. And did you take note of all the lines from everyone on the hotline? I wrote down all the lines that the other hotline people are saying.
Yes.
Because they are so just like, they're just so generic, dudes in a room coming up with what kids would have a problem about.
Precisely. Like the writer's room coming up with what it was. Yeah. It was dude central.
Yes.
But it was honestly, what is it? The rule of threes in comedy. They really stacked it. Like.
Oh, and it was underscored by the scary music again.
Oh, the music was.
It's creepy in this one.
Yes.
This one's dark and sinister.
The whole thing sounds like Unsolved Mysteries.
No, it does.
Yeah.
So they're in the rap line center and we pull in and we've got this shot just going through all the callers. And it's like, these are some of the lines that the callers are saying to the people calling in. How long have your mom and stepdad been married? The national hotline for runaways is 1-800. Okay, so when was the last time you got high?
Yes. But the best
was Andrea's line, which is when she answers and she's like, oh, we get 5 calls a night from guys who have been caught masturbating by their moms
parents
and sisters.
Oh yeah. She has stats on it.
Yeah, she has the stats and I'm like, 5 people a night are calling getting caught jerking off?
Like, who has ever been caught?
Yeah.
And also, that's the thing. That would end all like sexuality for me. If I ever got busted by my parents having any kind of like sexual thing.
Yes.
But the last thing I would do would call Andrea. What the fuck does she know about hand jobs?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you going to call? Like, oh my God. Like, what do you even say?
Honestly, maybe she's perpetually alone, so she's the master of masturbating.
I think that's
She is the masturbator.
She is
Andrea knows a thing or two about this one.
I believe
Well, she's been through all that training.
I believe that's the training.
3 months of training. Any questions? Oh my God.
Okay, so then
Andrea can't come unless she's on the phone.
Unless she's on the phone with a trauma victim. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so then Kelly calls for Brenda and Andrea is pissed.
Right.
She's like, all my suspicions are being confirmed.
I would be too, though. It's like Kelly knows better.
Kelly does, but Kelly just doesn't care. Kelly is so self-centered. She does not give a shit about anyone else. She's just like, I feel like talking to Brenda.
Yes.
I'll call her.
Is this the first time we see in Kelly's room? Or is this the first time we see in Kelly's red room?
I think so.
Okay, because her room is so seductive.
It is a slutty. It's like
there's art on the wall.
It's giving she lost it in 7th grade. You know, they're like, we really want to.
Yeah. Now she's retired and she's an art collector.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She calls for ride confirmation.
And because she's like, when should I come get you? And Brenda's like, I'll be here till 10, whatever.
But Donna's
mom is having an issue.
Because Donna wants a nose job.
Donna wants the nose job.
Here's my problem with this fucking show.
Okay.
Is they give Donna a fucking amazing plot line, right? Donna needs a nose job.
Yeah.
And guess who never talks about it until the end of the episode?
Oh, I know.
To wrap it up is fucking Donna.
That would have been a way better B story than Brandon and his stalker.
So the other thing I want to talk about is their B stories are wild.
Yes.
In this one and the next one. It's they are like, their B stories are all over the place, and they have a weird, shitty way of wrapping them up.
Oh, yeah. It's like they're just like, oh, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, and they're like, well, it's better now. I'm like, what, the 5-time masturbator? What happened to him? You never hear from him again. But yeah, so it's like the hotline is hot.
The hotline is piping hot. Okay, so they finish up. Everyone's leaving. And what I love about this hotline is like, everyone just leaves the children there. Like, none of the adults stay to make sure the kids get picked up.
Right.
Like, the woman's just like, see ya, and leaves Andrea and Brenda,
standing in the cold,
teens standing at 10 o'clock at night in Los Angeles. And then Andrea, the holier than thou, like, moral compass of the show.
Totally.
Her bus pulls up and she's like, see ya, Brad.
Her bus pulls up.
And she's like, bye, babe. And then Brenda's just standing there alone. And remember, you guys, she didn't have a cell phone.
No.
She's outside.
Yes.
We don't know that she can get back into this building.
And what is she wearing in this scene? She looks cute.
She was asking for it.
Yeah,
right.
well, no, I mean, but
No,
she's pulling a cool,
she
dressed up.
She
for
looks
her.
cute.
Yeah, she's dressed profesh.
Yeah.
But they literally leave her in the cold, dark LA night.
I'm like, she's going to be the one calling the hotline tomorrow, you guys. Like,
the call is literally coming from inside the hotline.
It is.
But my favorite part was what happens next
With
the janitor.
Yes.
Like, I don't know who was on set that day. Who didn't? I don't know who at Fox slid that one little moment. Like, because I laughed.
That was so good.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's just Water Puppy. That's
Yeah.
it.
So she bangs on the door and the janitor comes.
And yes. And in English, she says, let me in.
Let me in.
And then the next thing you see is him letting her in, and she says, gracias. And he just kind of looks at her. I'm like, what is that?
What is happening?
She doesn't speak Spanish.
It's so funny. No one does. I mean, she could have learned a little from Anna is there every 4 or 5 episodes.
Oh, you know what? She picks them up from Carol's assistant.
Yeah, Anna, yeah.
Assistant.
Yes.
No barking.
So she gets in. She calls Kelly. Kelly is so wild with her rides. Like, Brenda, stop relying on Kelly for a ride. She left you at the beach. She's not here to pick you up. She hasn't even left. And then she puts Brenda's like, hey, you're supposed to come get me. And Kelly's like, I'm on with Donna. She's having a meltdown. Hold on. And then puts her on hold.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll call you back. And Brenda's like,
Well, we've seen her mom's room and that phone by the bed, which is a fax machine. So we know they have a hold button. You know what I mean?
They do.
Do you remember when you had like the luxury of like a landline that had all those extra features? Like speakerphone was one, but
so nice.
You could push the dial, like plug in a phone number.
Yep.
Speed dial.
So then Brenda's waiting for the call back, and guess what happens?
Caller number one.
And Brenda knows they have very strict rules. They are not to answer the phone after 10 p.m.
So what does Brenda do?
She answers the phone. Obviously, she's like, I think it's Kelly, but it's not Kelly. It's a mysterious voice. She thought it was Kelly.
That's how she answers the phone.
That's how she answers
she's like,
it.
Kelly, I'm not messing around this time.
She's like, Kelly, come on.
Oh, she says, I don't forgive you.
Oh, I don't forgive you. And the girl's like, what?
Which, I mean... hello, even you work at a hotline, Brenda.
I know.
The first thing you shouldn't say is, I don't forgive you.
Exactly. So this girl tells this story. We have this mysterious voice.
Not gonna lie, I thought it was AI.
You did.
At first, the acting, she sounds super AI.
She does sound AI. Her voice is weird. It's like raspy and a little like, it's a little sexy, kind of.
Yeah.
She's like, hey,
It's very phone sex.
it's phone sex,
yeah,
right?
She's like being sultry until she starts talking about assaults. But
Yes,
it's like,
but like till then, she's like, hi, who is this?
yeah, she's speaking in circles.
Yes.
She's very flirty.
Yes.
And Brenda does every wrong thing.
Oh yeah,
right?
Brenda is so bad at this.
But she, the other thing is, what I'm noticing about Brenda, and I think we all have friends like this, is she loves to absorb someone's problem as hers.
Yes, of course.
She is immediately anchored to this person's whatever issue. She doesn't even know.
She got to help her.
But she's also real pushy
She is pushy.
about information.
Yeah, it's like she clearly hasn't been through the 3-month training
She
period.
was through a day.
Yeah.
And those people left her in the dark.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really intrigued by this, but I thought at first I was like, this is what AI. This was the very first thing.
No, it sounded like AI. Her voice was. I don't know what was happening with the directing, but
you know when you're like AI, if you have to chat or like an email
Yeah.
or a text, and you're like, this doesn't make sense. The responses you're getting, you're like, I feel like this is a robot.
Yeah.
It sounded like hotline robot.
oh, it did sound like a hotline robot. But I love the girl goes, there's this guy, I like him a lot, and he says he likes me. And Brenda goes, does he? Like, she's just trying to get the tea. Like,
Well, does he?
she's like, whoa, Brenda, let her finish.
Brenda wants to know if he's emotionally
I know.
committed to her.
It's so funny. She's like, well, does he?
Yeah.
It's like, Brenda, calm down.
Be a listener.
She wasn't a good listener at the top, and that's her arc in this story.
Well, of one of many.
We'll see.
She has a lot of lessons to learn.
Basically, the girl says, when you're making it with a dude, which we find out making it. Had you heard this phrase before?
I had.
I had never heard this before.
It's dated for sure.
It sounds very dated, but she's like, when you're making it with a dude, she doesn't say dude. She goes, when you're making it with a guy.
With a bro.
With a bro. And he, you ask him to stop and he doesn't. Is it your fault?
Yes.
Is it, you know.
And what does Brenda say? She says, no. And then she says, I don't know. She gives her bad advice.
Bad advice, Brenda.
As an assault victim,
Yes.
she gives almost immediately the wrong advice.
At that point, she should have immediately said, like, hey, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I am not really qualified to deal.
You need to call 911.
Yes, exactly.
That's what she should have said.
She's just trying to get the tea on if the guy really likes her.
She should have asked her if she had one of those speed dial phones that used to have.
Yes.
Do you remember it had fire,
Yes.
police,
Yes.
and emergency?
Yes.
And they were just buttons with symbols on them?
Yes.
My grandparents had that. With the big buttons because they were old and couldn't
the
see.
big
Do you remember
buttons.
that? Yes.
Those were good. Those were satisfying.
Well, guess who got in trouble for pushing all those buttons? And like the fire department showed up.
You?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
You couldn't resist a button.
Oh yeah.
That's what kids will never know with touchscreens is the satisfaction of a button.
Yeah.
Like an elevator is really
I
the
love
only
a
place.
button.
Yeah, give me
touchscreen doesn't have it.
give me a good doorbell.
Oh, I love a doorbell.
Ding dong.
Ding fucking dong.
So Brenda is almost criminally like abetting these guys by giving the wrong advice.
Yeah. No, she's great. Yeah, she's like, she says, no, I don't think so.
She says, no, I don't think so. Right.
Which is like,
yes.
You might, maybe.
Yeah.
Jury's still out.
Maybe you want to rethink it. That's what that sounds like.
And then the girl goes, well, how do you know if you've been... And then the phone call ends. I can't remember how it ends.
She ends dramatically.
Yes, it ends.
She's like, I should never know. Or she slams the phone.
Oh, yes.
Because Brenda's like, wait.
Yeah, Brenda's like, and Brenda is torn up about this.
I can't get over, honestly, the Walsh children, they way over emotionally invest in someone else's thing that it's clingy.
It is clingy.
Like in a way that their twinsness is clingy.
No, it's weird. And she totally gets invested. She gets very emotional about it. Kelly shows up. Kelly has the audacity to show up so late in fringe. She's wearing fringe. Like
she
Kelly,
looks good, though.
She does look good.
Yeah.
It is a cool jacket. But I was like, this bitch is wearing fringe.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of like, don't worry about it, Brent.
Yeah. I've been standing. And another thing people don't understand, and this I'm sorry to be the old person who's always talking about what people don't understand, is when you were stranded, you were fucking stranded.
Stranded.
Brenda's lucky she worked at an office that had phones. If you didn't have money...
She's so lucky she could get in there.
That part with the Duolingo janitor or bilingual janitor.
The Duolingo janitor.
Thankfully speaks English so that he could understand her because her fucking bigoted ass. Gracias.
Oh my God.
But yes, if you were stranded, you had a reason to be pissed.
There was, yeah, exactly. You should be mad.
If I don't show up to dinner now, fucking get a life. You know what I mean? Like Google something else to do on your fucking phone.
Yeah.
But if you had nothing else and you're just standing in the cold, which I had been before. Have you ever been left at the mall?
I can't. See, here's the thing. I lived like 3 blocks from the mall growing up, so it was kind of impossible to be left there.
That explains a lot. Honestly, you were a food court girl. Now I get it. Were you a mall rat?
I was such a mall rat. Oh my God, I worked at the mall. I worked at the Abercrombie there, the flagship store.
I gotta send you this documentary. It's about the mall in the 80s. It's before your time, but it's mall culture like you can't believe.
I love mall culture.
Have we talked about how I would go to the mall after church every Sunday? Did we talk about that?
No.
We had to. We would go with these other families and eat in the food court.
Oh my God.
Years.
That's so cute.
And we would go, well, I like loathed it because I hated church.
Oh, yeah.
But I would always go that's where I would go look at Paula Abdul posters because I thought she was pretty.
Yeah, because you liked her.
I liked her. But this is when I was going to tear through teen magazines for Tori Spelling photos.
Oh my God, full circle.
Beverly Hills 90210, whatever, paraphernalia.
Everything comes back to
Walden. Yeah, but it really was. It was like we were going to the mall. I was like, well, at least I can go to Walden Books and score.
Oh my God.
Like
I can go score at Walden Books.
A Luke Perry photo.
Oh, Luke Perry. He's getting hotter and hotter. Okay. I just can't wait till we get to the next episode. But this one, we're moving along. Brenda comes home. She's torn because she did not follow protocol. She answered a call and hasn't told anyone.
Never does it ever occur to her that it's none of her business or that she did anything wrong.
No.
Now she has to solve a crime.
Yes, exactly.
Now she has to fucking solve a crime.
Well, and then Cindy, did we do that thing where, like, when Brandon was cheating, where they're like, "Oh, you're doing so good. We're so proud of you." Anytime they're doing something good, but they're doing it in a bad way, they really emphasize how proud the parents are.
Yes.
And Cindy does that. She's like, "They're so lucky to have you." And Brenda's like, "Ugh, I told that girl it was maybe her fault,"
Yeah, I feel like Carol does miss the mark. I think enables a lot of Brenda's bad behavior.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. As a lot of parents do.
But yeah, I don't know. She's a little too doting when it comes to that.
She is.
Like emotional boundaries.
Oh, she has none. The Walshes have none.
Yeah,
none
that's
with
the thing.
Their kids or anyone else's
Jim does. I respect his emotional boundaries.
Yeah, Jim does. But I don't know. He gets a little too involved in episode 10.
He thinks he's people's dad.
He does. He thinks he's everyone's dad.
Yeah, there's that part.
So basically, Brenda is torn. She doesn't feel good about what happened.
No.
Because she got this crazy information, this like traumatic information. She has to solve a crime. No one knows. She can't tell anyone because she broke protocol. So she's kind of trying to figure out, what the next move is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brandon is at work and Nat is getting a massage.
A horny massage.
He is full blown to the point where Brandon comes back and is like, "Hey dude, like they can hear you out there."
Yeah, which is I'm sure what Joey Tata did to Carol.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
I'm sure Carol made him moan and groan from the back room.
I hope they had.
I really do too. That's question number one.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would ask is like, did you fuck Joey Tata?
So whoever this crystal masseuse girl is, she looks like Debbie Gibson. That's all I could think of.
She does, and she's out the gate just like all about Brandon. She is trying to seduce Brandon.
She's eye fucking in the minute that they walk
the
in.
Second he walks in.
Because she's rubbing Joey Tata's shoulders, but she's like looking at him, all talking about like the difference in whatever. I forgot.
All the different
acupuncture and
acupressure. And then Brandon goes to Steve and is like, "Oh, this girl, I got this massage from her," because then Brandon gets one. And then he's like, and Steve's like, "Oh, did you score, bro? Oh, shit."
So gross.
And then Brandon goes, "No, here she is here."
Look at her. Yes.
Look, she comes in looking like a fucking...
She looks like Sarah Jessica Parker in fucking Hocus Pocus.
She does. Or she looks like a witch going to Lilith Fair, Like...
Yes.
It's slutty. Look how low her top comes down.
This is honestly going back to what... she's sort of... It's dark crystal culture. She
Yes,
looks like the human version of Kira.
She does.
Or she's going to like the Labyrinth 30-year... reunion.
I just love that, like...
Look at that belt.
I know, the belt. There are a lot of good belts in this episode.
But am I wrong? It has a hood, right?
No, it does have a hood.
Okay, yeah.
That's why it looks so witchy.
Well, they make her. This is people's '90s definition of like a vegetarian.
Yes, totally. That's me in the '90s. That's a vegan in the '90s.
Totally. But I would wear every inch of that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, she looks great.
She looks cool.
But see, look, that's actually that smolder right there. She never takes that gaze off of Brandon. So not his fault.
Well, we'll get to how it ends for him.
Not his fault.
But here's the thing: is like. Brandon's like, Steve's like, oh, you got to get with her. And he's like, no, dude, she's old. She's like 23.
Yeah. How fucking. And meanwhile, in real life, they're like 23.
They're like 23. I know.
This is the same episode where Steve is only after the freshman.
Yes.
Like, that's so gross to put on him.
Yeah, he's into the freshman. I think Steve's just trying to fuck anyone.
They're really trying to find his character.
Yes, no, they are. They're like, does he like old girls? Does he like young girls?
But so I loved this actress. I don't know who she is, but her haircut, that was such a 90s thing. The first Becky on Roseanne had it, but it wasn't that good.
Yes, no, it's good. Like a bowl cut.
It was, that was like the suburban real, too real. Her look was so classic of the 90s. Very Wilson Phillips.
It's so funny because I'm like, okay, so basically just every woman over 22, they give this haircut to. It's like Jackie Taylor, Felice Martin ends up with that haircut.
She has Jackie's haircut.
Steve's mom has that haircut. They're like, she's 23, so she's basically parental age now.
It is kind of mom jeans.
It is mom jeans.
It's a little mom jeans.
It's a little mom jeans.
But because she's what? Do they ever say her age?
No.
In this episode? Okay.
I think he says later, like the 25-year-old I'm dating.
Do they ever explain what she's doing at the Peach Pit?
I think she used to work for Nat or is like an old friend of Nat's, and then she went away to like school or something and came back.
So why not break OSHA protocol and have a massage in the stock room?
Best way to do a massage.
To be honest, I've had that many times.
Really?
Yeah. People massage each other in restaurants. There's a lot of downtime.
I came out here to go to an acting camp when I was 15. And this is for another time, but you know who my acting teacher was? Allison Mack, second in command to the Nexium guy.
What?
The cult. Yeah, she was second in command. And she was my acting teacher, and she very much encouraged me to get my belly button pierced. Maybe it was
you do? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of early getting into branding for her.
Wow.
Let's see if I can get this girl to do her belly button pierced.
Do you think she was, what do you call it? She was like test driving. You know what I mean? She was like, what do you call that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going through the motions.
Yes, she was.
Of like,
But there was a guy in that class, because it was in LA, and there was a guy in that class who had been in a couple Disney movies, and he was so hot, and he would give me a massage backstage, like in between scenes. And
nothing wrong with that.
Oh my God, it would be I would like sweat because it would be so hot and like sexy.
Yes.
And,
because here's the thing, I play piano, so I have really strong hands.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay.
Sorry for the flex. But that also translates to really good massage hands. And so one time I was at a strip club at a bachelor party. Sorry. I hated it. Every second of it. I hated it.
Was it like traditional bachelor party?
Oh, it was the worst thing ever. We had to go. We went to a steakhouse, a gun range, all the shit.
Just
right?
like the most like
the
alpha
most.
male.
I was like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Hated it. Every second of it. So then we go to the strip club. This is my favorite part.
I do love the strip club.
Don't you bark at me. It was a place called the Yellow Rose in Texas. Shout out to the Yellow Rose. I love that. And it was there was this stripper dancer who was there, and she was like, do you want to dance? I was like, no, I don't have any money. And she was like, it's okay. I've kind of danced out. And she did this. I was like, but I'll trade you massage for massage. And she goes, you got yourself a deal. So while everyone else is getting lap dances, I'm massaging a stripper. And everyone's looking at me weird. And then all of a sudden we traded places. And I'm sitting there getting like it was beautiful. It was magic.
I love it.
Meanwhile, like Britney Spears' Toxic is playing.
Oh, that sounds like my dream night, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brenda comes in to try and tell Andrea what happened.
Yes.
And Andrea's like, she's like, Andrea, I need to talk to you. And Andrea's like, I get it. You don't have what it takes.
Yeah.
And Andrea just makes assumptions, which if you've read the 4 agreements, you know the 3rd agreement, don't make assumptions. Very important one. Highly recommend that book to everyone. Clear point why you should not make assumptions.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you're usually wrong.
You're usually wrong. And Andrea doesn't even give... So Brenda, to the point where Brenda just shuts down and does not tell Andrea what happened.
Which is so rap line. Yeah, so anti-rap.
Yes. Okay, so then we're back at the rap line later that night. And they are so strict about this 10 p.m. cutoff. I mean, they're all there chatting and people are finishing up their calls and the phone rings and Brenda says to the woman in charge, should I get that? And she goes, you know the rules.
Yeah. Caso cerrado.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, what if someone's like really in need?
On the yes.
But okay.
No, they've got rules. There's overtime that they can't pay.
Yes.
There's probably union rules about it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, what if there's like a crazy union
The
rules?
rap union.
Yeah, the rap union.
But this is Brenda's wearing the green.
Yes.
And the green ponytail.
Oh, with the cool thing over her braid. I didn't get a picture of that, but it's so good.
It's one of I'll say top 5 looks so far.
It's good, and
she doesn't wear a lot of color.
No, she doesn't. She's lots of blacks and whites, and but this lots of muted colors.
She sort of reminded me. Do you know there's at the dinner table in Beetlejuice? It's the lady who doesn't say much at all.
Oh yes,
and smokes, and she has the bow in her hair.
Yes,
she looks like that.
Yes, totally. It's such a cool look. I'm into it. Okay, so then we're kind of going back and forth with Brandon and this woman
Goon.
who's come into the peach pit.
Oh, her,
and
yeah.
Who
Debbie Jr. I thought the high schooler who can't.
Oh no,
Agog.
That girl, we literally see her like
Lady
at the beginning
Agog.
and the end. Lady Agog.
Lady Agog.
Yeah. So Brandon's here with this woman, this ancient 23-year-old
Adult.
and she's like. She is laying it on so hard. She's like licking her ice cream seductively. She's like, the best therapy for your skin tone. Which, what does that even mean? Your skin tone is just your skin tone.
Skin tone, yeah. How do you
It's like
fucking fix that? Yeah.
It's like, again, it was just like writers, like, they didn't have Google.
Yeah,
so they were
they've
just
never-
like, what sounds...
Well, it's writers who've probably never been with a woman.
Totally.
Yeah. The best therapy for your skin tone is foundation, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. That's
all you
the
need.
best
Yeah,
therapy.
fucking-
But she's like, it's an herbal wrap where we cover you in an oil and wrap you in plastic. I'm sorry, are you about to murder me? Like,
there was a thing. Here's the thing. There was spa culture in the 90s. It was all about mud bath.
Yeah.
And you had to get wrapped.
Yeah.
And that was the lore.
It was.
Again, there's a Designing Women episode I could direct you
again,
to
it
if you
was
want
such
to.
a 90s thing.
Link in the comments.
The zeitgeist wraps.
Yeah, it was there.
So then then she asked Brandon to come over after work to try out her technique. And Brandon's like, it is on. Steve's going to be so happy. I'm going to fuck this 85-year-old.
Which the group think on this.
Yeah.
He's going to fuck this meemaw. I hate the guy group think on this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like he's got to go to the bros.
Yeah.
I
know.
To get his angle on.
It's so crazy. Okay, so then at the end of the night at the rap line, the call, they're walking out and the phone rings again and the woman goes, it never ends. I'm like, you should not. She just seems annoyed by everyone calling.
She's also too, she plays favorites with Andrea and I think she's too loose with Brenda.
Yeah.
She plays too fast and loose with Brenda. And I feel like she's not the responsible person.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, I mean,
she works an 18-hour day.
She does. She works an 18-hour day and that's why she's like, angry when people are calling that need help.
At her job. She's like, wrap it up.
She's like, wrap it up.
It's
Mama
the
needs
rap
a cocktail.
line. Yeah.
Wrap it up on the rap line. So basically, Andrea, they all leave. Oh, this woman who I love.
Yeah.
She's like a perfect mix of Andrea and Brenda. Doesn't she? Mix goes. She's like a perfect blend of the two of them.
She's Blenda.
She's Blenda. She is. So that's the woman who's like, I hate my job. So basically, Brenda and Andrea, they end up in there with the woman, and for some reason, Andrea's like, "Oh, I'll get it." They make an exception for this one, but Andrea cannot answer the phone without telling the caller, we have strict hours of 6 to 10 p.m.
Yeah, there's rules to the rap.
It's like...
Andrea's such a stickler, but the other thing, while she's breaking the rules.
Exactly.
At the same time.
It's like, just answer and say it at the end. What if this person's about to like, harm themselves, start drinking, going on a bender, and Andrea's scolding them.
Well, Brenda clocked her she's like, how can someone be the editor of the paper have such disdain for the student body or something like that?
I'm glad you brought that up.
The disdain is not the word, but it's something. Contempt for the student body.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's it in a nutshell. Like
Yes,
that
it is.
is Andrea. Like where does she come off with this chip on her shoulder? And then immediately a bunch of asinine students walk by and Andrea's like, can you blame me?
Yes.
But that was just it. I'm like, where do you get this indignant attitude from? The Valley?
She's, from Van Nuys, apparently. They're very indignant in Van Nuys.
Listen, you got a lot of time on that shuttle bus.
Yeah, she has a lot of time to build up
mad
resentment.
about stuff.
Well, and she is trying to be nice, but she does remind the person 6 to 10, but we do have a couple extra minutes. Have you called before? And she goes, yeah, I've talked to Brenda. And then it's like, womp womp, you know?
Yep.
Andrea looks at Brenda. She's like, Andrea puts the woman on hold.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, what if this person is having a real
on a
crisis?
bridge? What if they're on a bridge?
Literally. And she's like, can you hold on?
The other thing is everyone doxes everyone on this, right?
Yes.
The girl on the phone rats out Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda is later doxes Andrea.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
No one's keeping anyone's confidence.
No one is.
Which I love. I'm sure that's rule number 1.
I'm sure it's the first rule is confidence.
Well, the first rule about rap line is don't talk about rap line.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right?
Okay, so then the woman who doesn't want to be there, the older lady is like, what did she call about? And Brenda's like, potential date rape. And they're like, okay, we got to take this.
Yeah. I guess we're staying
Yeah,
late.
I guess we're working overtime tonight. And so like Brenda gets on the phone with her and the girl gives some details. She's like, it happened in a parked car behind a dumpster. They were partying because they had won some competition. And Brenda's like, is it Grudge Week? Do you go to Beverly or West Beverly?
See,
Brenda's immediately sleuthing and not good at it.
No. And the other thing is Andrea's not there to be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like, where's the hold button?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's literally asking, I don't know. It's amazing that she returns to the scene of the crime and keeps committing more crimes.
Exactly.
It's like, you were bad at this the first time.
She's not getting any better.
But why is she going from like advice giver to like crime solver?
Oh, yeah, she
vigilante justice.
Vigilante. She is getting justice for this girl. And the girl freaks out when she starts asking questions. And she's like, I'll call you tomorrow. Andrea has a great vest in this scene, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Andrea's dressed again. Is that the one where she goes, is that where she talks to Andrea off the phone? And is exposed. She goes, "Who are you talking to?"
Oh no, that's the next.
That's
time.
later.
That's the
sorry.
next one.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry,
okay.
spoiler alert,
yeah.
you guys. Okay, so then the next day at school, Andrea comes over to Brenda and she's like, "Hey, Brenda," and actually, I think this is where she's wearing the green shirt. She goes, "Hey, Brenda," and the green cool braided ponytail.
Yes.
She's like, "Hey, Brenda," and Brenda's like, Andrea, I know I fucked up last night, basically, but blah, blah, blah. And Andrea's like, no, I was going to tell you did a really good job. And so they're softening. They're becoming friends. Hopefully this episode at least.
It won't last. I was going to say it will not last. Don't bank on it.
And then this girl, Lucy, is getting hit on by Scott, who he just fully curves her.
Oh, yes. It's like.
I'm like, that's in your strike zone.
It's literally
baby.
your only chance.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Literally
with
your
Brandon.
only chance. His acting, don't even get me started.
It's bad.
It's so bad in this.
It's like, that's why he got
It
written
is,
out.
and today I tried to do my best Scott hair, but I couldn't do it.
No, it's good.
It's like, it's not floppy enough.
It's good. So then Brandon goes to Dylan for sex advice for this older woman.
Who wouldn't?
And you know, Dylan gives him some advice. He's like, yeah, I've, you know, been with older women. I don't usually kiss and tell because he's just so fucking cool. And Brandon's like, will she expect me to spend the night? That was his question.
Yeah, do you remember that time in your life?
Well, I was never hooking up with older guys. I was always hooking up with high schoolers.
Yeah, no.
As a high schooler myself.
I did. I didn't know how to do that because I thought you looked weird if you wanted to stay.
Oh, yeah. No, so I never stayed because it was like we all had to be home.
You had school the next day.
We had school. Yeah.
You had lacrosse practice.
I had lacrosse. I had to get to lacrosse where I would be even sluttier.
More than yes. But that reminded me for one split second. I was like, oh yeah, you had to think about because you're pretending to be an adult.
So now Brandon is devising a plan. He's gonna act like he's going surfing early with Dylan,
which is a great plan. Honestly, he was really smart because Carol Potter did not see through.
She did not, even though he's like, I'm going to study after work and then I will leave very early, so I will likely not see you until after school tomorrow.
Well, and based on Jim's history, he should have just been like, hey, Dad, I'm going to get some old Strange, and Jim would have been like, get it, son. Yeah. What, making up? Why does he have to lie to his mom? He can tell his dad the truth.
Yes.
But yeah, he has to go like, oh, that was the thing. What do you say to a woman when you wake up and you see her lying there?
Oh, yes.
And Dylan's advice is, do you want some coffee?
Oh my God, just such
Frankly,
good advice.
so hot. Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah,
I'm
great
like,
answer.
yes. Dylan for sure goes down on women. Like goes down and doesn't even need them to go. He's like, no, I just wanted to make you feel good.
Exactly.
You know?
And then he gives you coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
What a man.
So then Brandon puts on a blazer and heads out to hook up with the 25-year-old.
He puts on his dad. Look at, there it is.
It's so good. It's like a tweed blazer.
It's
I think
Jim's.
He rated Mr. the teacher from the last episode.
Oh my God, it does look like that. But didn't he say he might have raided his dad's closet? I think he said that,
I think he did, yeah. Then we go back to the rap line once again, and we get another one of these great rap lines from one of the people helping. Well, if you want to know if you're pregnant or not, you're going to have to get the test done.
Yeah.
Can your mom take you? It's just like...
First of all, it's Keith giving this advice.
Keith, you should not be anywhere near... Give the phone to Andrea for once.
Yeah, Keith he has not been through 3 months of training.
Yeah.
The teenage male does not need to be giving any advice on what to do about your teen pregnancy.
Correct.
I could not believe that. And also, he's pushy.
He's so pushy.
Well, you're going to have to tell her some point.
Yeah, everyone's
right?
pushy.
But I don't, honestly, when I thought I had really cool hair, Keith was what I looked like.
Oh, really?
Just up top to bottom. Pencil neck, weird bushy hair.
God bless Keith.
I know. The minute I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I'm Keith.
You're Keith.
Bullying teen pregnant. Into admitting their mistake.
So the end of the night comes, the girl has not called, and Brenda's like, can we just wait, please, blah, blah, blah. She was here, and they're
so
like...
clingy.
They're like, no, rules are rules. So they all leave together, and once again...
rap rules.
Yeah, the rap rules. They're like, we're here to help people, but only during our allotted hours.
Right.
Very strict. And then they all go to leave, but of course, Andrea and Brenda are left in the cold.
This
waiting.
is the first time she does say, you girls are okay, right?
Yeah, she does feign concern.
Yeah. Because it's been an 18-hour day.
Yes, it has been.
Why not leave some children clinging to their lives?
Exactly. And Brenda convinces Andrea to go back in and wait. And they wait 45 minutes. The girl has not called.
But no, Andrea is back on the team, and they wait, and then it's literally the last call.
The last call. They're about to leave, and then the phone rings, and it's her. And Andrea picks up, and she's like, hey. And Andrea just goes, Brenda, it's for you. And then they did the most dramatic cut to commercials. Like it was
good.
So fucking good. And then the girl gets on, they're chatting. The girl's like, it happened again. This time he brought his friend. And it's like, at no point is Brenda like, call the police immediately.
Or stop hanging out with these people.
Exactly.
There's no immediate advice.
No, there's none. Brenda's just like, she does say you have to stand up to them. It's like, no, you have to call the cops.
You need help, yeah.
Yeah. And
Brenda's
Andrea's
like, so what high school do you go to?
Oh, yeah. She's like, what high school do you go to? Does he like you?
Yeah. How was graduate week?
But then Andrea says, Brenda, you shouldn't be telling her this. And Brenda goes, Andrea, it's the truth. And then the girl goes, who's Andrea? And she goes, which Andrea is it? And she goes, Zuckerman. And the girl hangs up immediately. No one likes Andrea.
Nobody does. Andrea says something, though.
Yes, she does.
She was clearly not one of my biggest fans.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's hilarious because then Brenda somehow magically puts it together who it is.
Yeah, which is never... We're never told that.
No, we're never told how. This whole time she's kind of like, I know this voice. We have never seen this cheerleader before. Spoiler alert, it's the cheerleader.
That Brandon's ogling.
Brandon was ogling at the beginning.
But we never hear her speak. We only hear her cheer. Right? We don't know her voice.
We don't know her voice, but apparently Brenda does in a scene that we did not see.
She's the voice hawk. Yeah, she knows.
So then Brenda, the next day, she goes, she puts it together, and then she confronts her the next day, and she's like, are you Bonnie? Which hilarious name. She's like, I'm Brenda. And then Brenda like scolds her for not reporting it.
She publicly confronts her about her private sexual assault.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess whatever, but also about what she's not doing.
Yes.
Right, about handling it.
I mean, every move is like it's like a roadmap of what not to do.
It truly is.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, the victim, she is combative, right?
Yes.
And I don't think it's from a place of like she feels double crossed by Brenda also.
Yes, as she should.
And it's literally like Brenda doesn't even notice that.
No, she doesn't. She has no, she's just not picking up on social cues at all.
No, because she's the victim.
She is the victim. Oh, also, you guys, I did forget to play one really important thing.
Your nails are so good.
Thank you so much.
That color.
Thank you. It's kind of the guy at Trader Joe's yesterday was like, it's like blood. You guys, this is from the night before. I just want to make everyone know Brenda did debut her catchphrase. So get ready.
She has a catchphrase?
Oh, yeah. Get ready, you guys. This happened the night before.
Look, I made a mistake. Look, I made a mistake. Look, I made a mistake. Look, I made a mistake.
This will be the phrase we come to know Brenda by.
Echo through the ages.
It will echo through the entirety of Brenda's run. She's constantly just like getting mad at people because she fucked up.
Made a mistake.
She's like, what? I made a mistake. Get over it. I fucking gave a girl who got like assaulted bad advice.
She
Sue
does
me.
say look a lot too.
Yeah,
she does
she's like,
preface
look,
it.
I made a mistake.
And she's mad about it.
She's mad about it.
Oh
So
my God.
that was last night, whatever. But then wasn't a mistake enough to not confront the girl and yell at her for not reporting it
At school.
at school.
Which I'm assuming just by the context clues is the scene of the crime also.
Yes.
So she's double layering the trauma.
And the guys could be anywhere, too.
Anybody could be anywhere.
Yes.
Like all those students could be listening.
Yes.
I was shocked.
And Brenda's like, they're using you. And Bonnie goes, you're just jealous. And Brenda goes to Andrea and she's like, she doesn't want to come forward. And it's like, yeah, bitch, she called an anonymous line. Like,
Brenda's the one, that's what I say. When Brenda doxed Andrea,
Yeah.
she's publicly confronting this
Yes.
woman. Like Brenda is no one's confidant.
no, Brenda cannot be trusted. So then Bonnie, we cut to after the game. And Bonnie's waiting after the game or whatever. Her friend comes over, Jill. Jill is such a bitch. Jill comes over and Jill's like, hey, these guys want to go somewhere, so I'm going to go with them. And she's like, oh, well, Bonnie goes, can you walk me to my car? And she goes, no, they want to leave right now. See ya. And Jill's walking away and Bonnie yells, please. And the girl's like, no, bitch, walk to your car alone in the dark. Don't give a shit.
First of all, the after hours lighting of the school is so scary, right? What are they doing at school that late?
I know. It's like after the game. There was a game and then it's
Grudge week.
at Grudge Week.
There was a grudge
course.
game.
There was a grudge
But
game.
there's a janitor in that scene.
There are janitors everywhere.
Why didn't she ask him
Exactly.
for help, right?
Yeah. No, she doesn't. She walks to her car alone.
There are janitors in every scene of this episode.
They're like, we got to get a janitor in there. Scene link feels a little empty. Throw a janitor
a
in.
mop bucket in the background.
So then Bonnie goes to walk to her car alone, and the guys come out. I think one of them's name is George.
Yeah, it's a not. Yeah,
it's like
it's an
George.
adult name.
It's like
yeah.
not a hot name.
The other thing is it's not funny. They're about to commit sexual
No, and
assault.
I'm not trying to make it light of it.
If you first of all, not this episode, but this television episode should have been prefaced with if you or someone you know.
Totally.
There's lots of triggers.
No, there were no trigger warnings.
Not
back
at
then.
all. And this episode, and the thing is, they I think for the intensity of the climax of the episode, they don't lay it all out.
No, they don't.
So you're constantly getting these
Yes.
but they're about to commit sexual assault in a parking lot.
And they look exactly like it's just like textbook, like a blonde, tall.
Oh, they look
guy.
like an Archie comic.
Yeah, they do.
It's fucking
of like
Archie.
who would assault someone.
They're in their letter jackets,
Yeah.
which I'm like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you wear like a disguise or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
You wouldn't have your high school jacket with your last name.
Yeah, no, it was great.
With George on the back of it. But anyway, that was the most fun. I was like, I know I'm not supposed to be laughing at this sexual assault scene, but I'm dying because they look like Archie.
And just it was so like archaic. The way it was written was just like
After school special.
It was like, we're gonna celebrate, and she's like, I don't want to, and
Yes.
he's like, well, then she's like,
Don't
get
make
in the
us beg
car.
for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
all
He's like,
that.
get in the car. Well, then we'll do it standing up.
He does go, get in the car, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Like the way he said that
And
was.
she says no, because Brenda's maybe gotten in her head. She's standing up for herself, and he
Yes.
goes, well, then we'll do it standing up.
Yes.
And then they start to grab her, and then like 7 cop cars come out. Like,
Suddenly it is literally Lethal Weapon 3.
it really is. Like, cop cars are coming from everywhere. People are coming out. Guns
Freeze,
are out.
yeah.
They're like, freeze.
Literally.
Put your hands in the air.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, they're all there.
Every huge action star of
present,
the 90s is present.
with a gun. No one saw, because previously the parking lot, they do a wide shot. It's empty.
It is fully empty, but now everyone, and for some reason, they just know they have a good enough look, all these cars, that they know
Yes.
it's going down right now.
Yes, and Brenda, Andrea and Brandon are on some adjacent hillside
Just watching.
Like, first of all, why are they there for the sting?
It's crazy.
And they're also in their like different clothes, like night attire.
Like
Did you
they
notice they
change.
dressed for it? Yeah, they're in like sting clothes.
Like, let's go back for the sting.
But on what level, when guns are being drawn, is there like a viewing box?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't get seats to something like that.
Totally.
But yeah, I thought that was a really excellent way for Brenda to get at least some responsibility back.
agree.
Like, she finally called the police.
I agree. She did. And
Days later.
And you know what? It all wraps up. We go away. We go back at school the next day. Brandon encounters his stalker, and he decides to be a little nicer to her. Oh, well, we forgot. Okay, Nina, he goes to Nina's, the hippie ladies.
Crystal lady.
And he's like, I'm about to get laid. And then he gets in there and she's got an old guy. He is so gross. What's his name again?
I don't even remember. I think he's also George.
He's probably George.
See, she looks like Debbie Gibson.
Yeah, no,
Or
she
Debbie
looks just
Gibson's
like Debbie Gibson.
sister, right?
Totally.
But yeah, her gross husband. Who's
disgusting.
He's the only person who actually looks like an adult on this whole show, right?
No,
he's the only person who probably is his age. But so what I first thought was this was like a swinger thing.
Oh,
First
really?
thought, I was like, oh my God.
I knew right away. I was like, she has a boyfriend, even though she's laying. She's like, I fucking him every second that they're together.
I thought for sure they were like Dungeons and Dragons. Like they get into like medieval times kind of swinger. I mean, look at the fabric over the lampshade in the background. They're swingers.
Oh, yeah, that's a swinger.
See that? Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Brandon, it doesn't work out with him.
No.
But he realizes he was the same as his stalker.
Correct.
So he goes up to her and has a nice little moment. And he says, hey, I just want to tell you have a nice smile. And then she presumably squirts everywhere.
But I question his motive in that.
Yeah.
Why is he watering that seed?
Interesting. I did too. It's like, why are you...
He's like, have a great day.
I think he's a narcissist. I do.
Precisely.
I think he needs all the women to be into him.
Because Debbie Gibson wouldn't stroke him, so
Yep.
he's like, I'll get that mutant in the corner.
Exactly. And also, he's not serious about her or Andrea, but he loves having girls that love him around.
But then that girl turns around and says hello to Scott, and it's the butterfly effect.
It is the
y'all.
butterfly effect.
You hold the door open for someone, they hold the door open for you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
Or your plot line is so boring that they don't bring you back.
Exactly. Which I think that's the case.
Sorry,
here.
Scott.
Sorry.
R.I.P.
Okay, what would you rate this?
Man, it was hard. I don't know. I liked it because everyone was overacting in it. But I'll give Donna Martin 5 mega burgers. That's all I'm gonna say. For that fucking outfit.
Okay.
Done.
Okay.
It was a good episode because of that.
I'm gonna give it 5 mega burgers as well because we got Brenda's catchphrase. I made a mistake.
Look, I made a mistake.
Look, I made a mistake, which is iconic. It's the first of many. And then also, I liked the overacting and I thought the outfits were all good. And Brenda's green, braid ponytail thing, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I don't like when they try to blend Andrea into the fray. She's the outsider. No.
She doesn't go.
She doesn't. So anytime it's like oil and water, man.
Yeah.
It's never gonna work for me.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I get it.
It's like when Steve is the lead story, that's when I wouldn't watch.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
That's so funny.
It is though. You know what I
get
mean?
it.
When you knew it was like a Steve show.
Well, because I think it was like we know who the stars are based on the Barbies, right? Because which cast members didn't get
Get a
Barbies?
Barbie.
I don't think.
Just
I
the
know
top 3.
Steve and Andrea didn't.
No.
And I
Well,
don't think David
for
did.
sure Andrea did.
I think it was Kelly, Brenda, Donna.
Oh, you think there's a Donna doll?
There is a Donna doll. I had it.
You did?
I for sure had
I
a
thought
Donna
you had
doll.
Brenda.
I had Brenda, and then when Brenda, later, I started to relate to Donna more, and I got Donna.
Was it Asheville, North Carolina I texted you from, and there was a Brenda doll or
Yes.
Kelly? It was?
Yes.
Man, I should have got that.
Anytime I'll Venmo
Why?
you any
Okay.
amount of money.
I don't know why I didn't get that.
And then I think it was Dylan and Brandon.
For sure.
For the guys.
For
And
sure.
then that was it. So
Yeah.
that's I think the most interesting storylines as well.
Yeah.
You know?
If you didn't have a doll season 1, you know you're not coming back.
Yeah,
season
no,
2.
you're not.
You can't.
Stick Scott.
If
No.
you're not merched.
Yeah, you're not.
You're out.
You're out. But I thought it was really fun, and I'm excited to get to the next episode.
Don't even get me started. It's only just begun. It's so good.
Well, we'll see you next time, you guys, on Glitter and Garbage into the Spellingverse. Bye.
Glitter and garbage.